If your portfolio is over $250,000 and you aren't hedged, you are sitting on a ticking time bomb. Markets are at all-time highs, but history shows, you know what comes next: volatility and increased risk. A 10% allocation to gold and silver can help hedge uncertainty and protect your wealth. Noble Gold Investments makes it easy to hedge your portfolio with institutional-grade gold and silver. Right now, every qualified investment will receive a free 10-ounce gold coin and protect your portfolio today. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com.
Welcome to the University of Wyoming. So here's my question. I fundamentally disagree with you in regards to having a family and getting married in this day and age. And I'll tell you why. 70% of the divorce rates happen because of women. Okay? That's a fact. Before we get angry, let's talk about the facts. You can Google this too. And on top of that, 85% of the men, or I should say people in jail, grow up in fatherless homes. So there's a direct correlation between those two things. So my thinking is that we don't need to necessarily have more families unless we have a complete change to the system. Now, what do you think about that? We need to change the system in order for us to have a nice conversation about, having a family, because the state incentivizes single motherhood in this country. And you're looking at me with that face, but tell me why.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Like, what is your contention, that we shouldn't get married and have kids?
We shouldn't currently because of this particular issue right now.
What
the issue is...
Build that out further for me.
So okay, let me explain.
Outside of the fact that, the anti-woman thing that you said.
Well, it's not necessarily anti-woman, it's a fact. You can Google this too. And look at the divorce rates in this country. I'm just saying that if we're going to have more families, we need some protections in place for men. Because right now, the legal system actively destroys the man in court. All right? Is that false or is that true?
I mean, yeah, of course it's true that the state encourages divorce, but
yeah.
How about you find a woman that you want to spend the rest of your life?
I was married for 10 years. I was married for 10 years.
And then you should take responsibility for your own actions. Like, why is that my problem?
No, the thing is that you're saying you're asking me if I should find a woman.
But hold on, you're going up in front of people, time out, to say marriage is bad because I had a bad experience.
No, but it's true statistically. We can look at the data. Is it wrong to say that, hey, 70% of divorces are initiated by women when the data says that?
Can I ask you a
Facts
provocative
don't care
question?
about your feelings, right?
Can I ask you a provocative question?
Yes,
Did you do anything that led to your divorce?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it wasn't all the woman's fault.
No, but I'm saying, but here's the thing. 70% of the divorces are initiated by them. And yes, this is an anecdotal situation. Like,
see, I reject the premise. I reject the premise. I think that we as men must lead. Women might initiate it, but we as men don't take the directive to have peace in the home. I reject the premise. Hold on, time out.
Okay, go on.
Let me finish. I reject the premise. Yes, women might initiate the divorce proceeding, but we are the one as men that ignore the subterranean threat and the brush fire that is growing. We're the ones that should take the family back to church, that go seek counseling if necessary.
And I don't disagree with it.
It's not good enough just to say, like, hey, it's women that initiate it. It's men who don't act, I think, confidently and strong enough in most cases to actually make sure that marriage is a safe haven to have children in a wholly protected place.
And I think that makes sense. And let me say this. Okay, let's find some common ground. So we know that the system is flawed, right? So here's the thing that's flawed about it. When the federal government incentivizes the state, at the state level, for child support enforcement programs, and we have a system where the state makes a bunch of money off of this, it's pretty parasitic, because there's no such thing as a 50-50 custody in Wyoming, even if you get along with the parent. So when the state is actively involved with family matters and women are getting paid off from this, and this is not false, we have a toxic system that probably needs to be revised. Do you not disagree with that? Because
I think we should revise. I do believe in more men's rights in custody. I think that's fine. But let's take a step back, though, and I think it's very important, is that men are objectively better when they are married and they don't stay as grown infant boys watching porn and playing video games all day long.
And I don't disagree with that.
Good, so we agree.
I agree.
Here's my argument. Despite the problems of the legal system, of which your argument has some merit, we still should get married because it is the right thing to do. Despite the technical problems, despite the difficulties. In fact, it's us men to find a woman that we love and to protect that marriage and hope that it never goes in the direction of divorce. And
that's 30% though. That's 30% chance
well, again,
that it succeeds.
I don't. Again, so no. About half marriages continue. It's not 30%.
No,
so,
because if 70. No, hold on a second. Because look at this. Why do we have such a society that is so hyper-focused on we need to have a bunch of children and get married, but we have this system in place, and I'm talking about the federal government, that incentivizes single parenthood. And we can look at most of these inmates in jail come from fatherless homes. Maybe we should get rid of the state involved in personal family matters.
So you're conflating. You know why? The fatherless homes you're talking about
yes.
are people that never got married in the first place most of the time. They're men
yes, that's true.
They're men that impregnate women and flee the women that they were with. But understand this, that every generation has had troubles.
Yeah.
Our duty as men is to overcome obstacles, not whine about them and not complain about them. So yes, there is a problem here, but I would reject the premise. Every man here every young man should say, I'm not gonna be a boy and I'm gonna go do the hard thing and get married and have children. And I would just push back against some of your narrative where you're telling like, well, men, it might not be good, it might not be this. Yes, life has lots of things that could throw at you, but marriage is a holy, holy institution that we should aim for. And the fact that marriage is slipping in the West is one of the great damaging indicators as to why our country is falling apart.
Should we revise it?
Yes, I think we should revise some of the laws. I agree. But the
Okay.
answer is not to not get married or run away from that institution. It's tough. Okay, still, go get married and have kids. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.